So you've managed to find us and wondering what we're all about. Well, this is the Waffle Hour on Waffle Wednesdays with me, Bernard, and John. We're best mates for about 20 years and we waffle on about all kinds of subjects. Sheep, gin, New Year's resolutions, and everything in between. So make sure you come along every Wednesday morning, 7:02 a.m. We'll help you get through your hump day. So we're going to start a podcast, which is going to be somewhat interesting. So I have John here with me. We're not sure what we're going to call the podcast yet. We were spitballing names. It's where everything starts, I guess. The John Bernard podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the Waffle Hour anyway. Hopefully, maybe the Waffle 20 minutes. We have to see how long we're going to
waffle until we don't have any waffling to do anymore.
Yeah. So basically, me and John have been friends now. How long?
Oh, what age are we now, Bertie?
Should we say that in the first one? Shall we?
Okay, well, I'm 37 and you're
35.
35. I'm
the junior.
Don't know why. I think I was hanging around with younger people back then. It was really strange. I suppose 17, 18
years.
Back when you had your Renault 19.
You said we're looking at maybe the JB podcast, John Bernard podcast. Maybe make it official, John Bernard. I don't know.
John Bernard, yeah.
And
sounds like a clothing line.
We'll see whether the waffle hour takes off. Of course, we all also have to get to an hour as well. We have to remember that. Now, so keeping it local, as we said it was going to be, and you touched on that where maybe we first met, was the Matchbox Carpark. So what we were going to talk about today is cars that we've had, maybe instances with cars. I know you've had a few. And because I think maybe people will relate a little bit to that, they like stories about cars and growing up and different things.
Yeah.
So you're talking about when we were, I think that's where I first met you, Matchbox Carpark.
I think literally everybody met in that Matchbox Carpark, and I think we should probably explain what the Matchbox Carpark. It's not a car park that looks like a matchbox. It's
I don't even think it's officially called the Matchbox Carpark.
What was it called? It was literally called the Matchbox.
Is it the Emmett Street Carpark?
It was next to the Matchbox store, the shop,
which isn't there anymore either.
Nobody ever called it the Matchbox Carpark except people that went there.
And it used to be stone as well before it got tarmacked.
It did.
Yeah, it used to be stone.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah. So what are we talking about? 2003.
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, 2000. Yeah, I put it down to 2003. Yeah.
So first cars first, and then we work through our list. And we see how we get on.
Okay.
Do we review the cars, or do we just talk about the crack we had when we had them?
Yeah, well, the people listening can't tell us how shit the cars are, so let's just keep on
going. There's no calling, no phone lines.
No phone lines.
Because the reason we said we talk about the cars first is because, as you mentioned, that's where we met. Really, it wasn't really in school, although we were in the tech together.
We were in the tech today.
You were a year ahead of
me. Yeah, it was just a year. Yeah.
So I don't really remember. You didn't go to community. No, you were the first leaving certs in the community school.
Yes, first year, and it was the worst year ever. There was a digger right outside. During my leaving cert?
But it wasn't even finished. It wasn't even finished then.
No, they moved us in when it was being constructed. Yeah, I was literally doing my leaving cert, and there were 3 builders outside the window looking at.
Yeah, because I would have been the first fifth years, and we stayed in the tech until Christmas or something.
Yeah,
that was. I done my leaving cert 2000, so that would have been 2002.
Yeah.
So you done your leaving cert in 2002 then?
2001.
Or 2001.
Yeah, because and the only way I remember that is because I was looking at their class photo from 2001, the last year one.
Oh yeah, and okay.
Yeah.
Yes. But right, Matchbox Carpark. So first time, I think you would have known Paul first.
Paul Grass.
Before you really knew me, no?
Yes, because just kind of. No, I think it was you first.
Me first.
Yeah.
And you had the Peugeot 306.
306, yeah.
The white one.
Yeah, the white one with the van.
Which is now called Agri-Spec because you had a CV aerial on it.
CV aerial with a boombox in the back of the van and a carpet.
Yes.
And a carpet. Yeah.
So you were doing Agri-Spec before anybody was really doing Agri-Spec.
But nothing done agri in it though.
No, not at all.
No.
It's just a CV radio.
It was purely cosmetic.
And I had my Renault 19. Well, Dad's Renault 19, of course.
The red one with the stripe.
The red Renault 19.
But it was you could tell it used to be red.
Yeah, it was faded in bits, and a few marks on it. A few marks I didn't put on it. I don't think anyway.
That's what they say.
had the speakers and the amp in the back.
Yeah,
Probably
that was the way to be.
Yeah, probably more than the van was.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah.
But I tell you something about that Renault 19. It had the softest seats I've ever had in any car since.
They were springy, I remember.
Oh, they were. They're mad spongy yokes. I don't know.
Yeah.
For the time, it was a 1994. So already when I had it, I started driving that in 2003 because the deal was if I studied for my Leaving Cert, when Leaving Cert was over, Dad would take me out. So I was only 17 and a half, and I remember going out a few Sundays with Dad, and then he let us off in the van. And from what I remember, even though it was, that would have been 11 going on 10 years old at the time, it was a high spec Renault 19. So it had like the front fog lights. It had these like luxury seats.
The same one that you were driving. So,
Yeah.
It's been in your family for a generation.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yeah. And it had these spongy seats on it, and it had like a special radio, whatever. It had electric windows, and like you said, it was off red and something.
Electric windows, yeah.
I
think none of us had electric windows.
No, that's what I'm saying. This had electric windows. And then I put the amp in it and 2 speakers in the back, and actually you thought you were the dog's bollocks picture.
Yeah.
And so we used to go down the back to Matchbox Carpark and line up,
and
there could be like 10, 11 cars, and you was talking across with all the windows open.
Oh, you couldn't. There was a time where you, as a young lad, well, technically I wouldn't say any young lad because there was only 8 or 9 of us, wasn't there?
Yeah, well,
but we weren't the first ones.
No, we kind of enjoying it, but it's always the way. You think you're the first ones doing it, but there's always someone before you.
There was another gang, and once they kind of evolved out of that, when they all like grew up, we started moving into the Matchbox Carpark and then we were the next generation in there. So if you just drove around a town, you always did a circle of that.
Yeah. But that's what you done in the evening. Like this could be like a Wednesday, Thursday. You just drove around.
Sometimes you just leave the house sometimes to go, I wonder who's in the Matchbox Carpark today.
Well, that just goes to show you how little there was to do. Yeah. But there was Podge McKeown.
Yeah.
So Podge McKeown, he had a Rover. It looked like a Honda Civic. It was one of those kind of Rovers.
Yes.
And he had a sound system as well. I remember being up in his house one day actually, and we had the backs open in the cars, and we were like having a competition who the radio was louder. And of course my battery died because it's a 1994 car, and I had the radio on for an hour.
Less power than yours have battery these days.
So he had that, and then Sludge had. This is after he had the Golf. He would have had the 11s. No, didn't he have like a long, like sports car or something? Toyota 11.
I think his first car was a Toyota 11. Yeah.
Yeah, and then but when did he have the purple and silver Golf? That was him, was it?
No, that was John Prendergast.
That was John Prendergast.
Yeah, the pearlescent one.
Yeah, purple and the body kit and all.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
I remember him going up and getting that done. Yeah.
I still remember one night he was doing the like handbrake turns around the cars in the 11s.
Yeah.
That was lovely, isn't it?
Handbrake turns. Yeah, it was him actually.
It was like a black, really low car.
Yeah, he did it like I think an hour after he bought it. It was wheels spinning it around the place. That was a rocket of a car.
Yeah.
Like at least we thought it was a rocket of a car compared to our vans.
We all in like things for work rather than anything else. Like.
Well, not even for work. It's the only thing I can get insured on. Like, I think that's everybody drove a van back then. That's all you can get insured on.
Commercial insurance, but they've clamped down on that and they've copped on to that now as well. Like.
Yeah.
Who else was in there? I'm trying to think back now.
Like, there was different groups. Like obviously there was the likes of Billy Bannon and all them lads, but they were kind of a different group. Technically there was 2 groups, wasn't there?
Yeah, I suppose there.
Remember like Gareth Keoghan?
Yeah.
He was in his Starlet, the silver one.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of the Glanzas, no? Or was that just a normal Starlet?
It was a mock Glanza.
Oh, a fake Glanza.
Yeah, a Flanza.
Everybody had a Glanza before the insurance companies copped onto that then as well.
Yeah. But it was a 1.3 with a sticker on the back. Sorry, Gareth, if you're listening. I'm not slagging your car. But yeah. And then who else? We are getting old.
Yeah, I can't remember who was there in the cars.
I'm trying to remember looking across. Like obviously Robbie Kennedy.
Yeah.
He had a
red Golf.
Yeah.
At the time, I think it was like a '97 Mark III.
Yeah, and it was a pristine.
Oh, pristine! Golf. And how the white dials.
But he didn't know even before. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think if did he have it before there. I think Yeah, no, probably the Golf was his first one.
Yeah, and like it was now
And,
you talk about the round 19 not being red. This was red. This was proper
this
red.
was like as if it was reach red.
Yeah.
Davy Gardner in a navy Golf with gold alloys.
Which that was the mark. No, that would be mark.
That was the same mark as
Mark
whatever
3.
Robbie's is.
Yeah.
Late that was a van though.
Oh yeah. Because once again, in with the vans.
Andy had a CP as well, so it wasn't as loserish as.
Yeah, I love actually over in Applegreen and Navan. If you go around there, there's like golfs and Boras. And they'd be parked up there, and they have like agri spec.
Even now.
Yeah, and the aerials, and I look at them, and I just say, oh look, that's what we done in the Matchbox Carpark.
I still have that aerial at home. That can be brought out anytime.
I love a scene one, and he had a flat out like a badger on a bypass, flat out like a badger on a bypass on the back window, like, and then you have your agri spec and all that.
Yeah, but you don't see many young lads anymore. It's like obviously cars are either more expensive or insurance would be too expensive. I don't see as much young lads hanging around.
It's insurance with cars to that because you have to get like shitty little normal cars.
Yeah, like 1.1s and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then Crass came soon after that, didn't he? With his Astra.
That was it. The Astra. Yes. My goodness, I hadn't even thought of that.
I remember coming actually from Kildalkey back to Boris Mill one night, and that that really bad bend. It's like a 90-degree bend, and he went around it, and I actually thought the car came away from the axles. That car was in some state. I remember went into the NCT, and they literally was just like practically just actually rolled it out of the NCT centre, and as much to say like here's 4 pages of faults with it. Like,
don't drive home.
Don't drive home with it.
Get a truck.
He must have been 20 before he started driving. Before he had that car.
He was late to the party.
Because I brought him around a lot.
He was late to the party.
Yeah. And then I remember Doran got his first car. He was around 1920. I don't know if you remember it. It was the blue Fiat Punto.
Yeah,
do you know like the old boxy
Fiat remember
Puntos? That. And he crashed it. And of course I was in it.
Who had the yellow Fiat Punto? Tomas Carlin.
Oh, the yellow, yeah. He had did he not have a slightly like cooler? He didn't have one of the. He
had a sports Seat Ibiza, but someone definitely had a yellow Fiat Punto. Someone also had a yellow Fiat Cinquecento.
That was Chris Lynch.
Chris Lynch
with the yellow Fiat Cinquecento.
Yes, I remember that because that just flashed into my mind.
But that Punto, I think Doran only had it for maybe a week, and we crashed it. We were going to, I think it was like A League or B League football Sunday morning, and we were going into Trim Road, and your man that used to have the milk, and on that bend, I can't remember his name, and literally on the inside of the bend was a woman walking, and Doran went to overtake her, and after I don't know what happened, but we headed for the wall. I smashed straight into the wall. He hit his head because obviously this is like it must have been like a 99 blue old box Fiat Punto.
Yeah.
There was no airbags.
Yeah.
So he hit his head, and I kind of I don't know. I was expecting it to explode or go on fire, and you're just checking yourself. It's like, oh, I'm all right. And look at John, and he's like out for the count.
No way.
Yeah. So I hop into the back seat, and I lie down in the back seat, and I start kicking the back door. Because the front door wasn't open.
This is hardcore. This podcast gone.
It's gone deep.
Crash scene investigation.
And I eventually got the door open, and I ran round, and then I won't say now with strength. I think the door was hanging off anyway. But I pulled the door open, and it just kind of fell off, and then like I slapped him in the face, and I pulled him out.
As you do.
But just a continuation of that story, right? So we were full sure we were still going to go play football. Right. After crashing the car, like, because you're grand because of like your
adrenaline,
and till this day, touch wood, thank God, that's the only car crash I've been in. So
did you win the game?
We didn't go play. Like John's mother came and said, like, you have to go get an X-ray. So we ended up going to Navan Hospital.
Concussion or something.
Oh yeah, I said John had anyway, but we ended up going for an X-ray, and as far as I remember we got these white gowns put on, and we were getting X-rays on our chest. And I can't remember whether this actually happened or whether I just think back and maybe this is a funnier version of it. But John took off all his clothes and had the white thing on. I think I remember him coming out and asking me like, "Oh, did you leave your trousers on?" I was like, "Of course I did. We're getting a chest X-ray." So he in the little gown like. So
any excuse.
Yeah, so you had to go back in and think of putting trousers. But I tell you, the worst thing about that was where the seatbelt got you, across your chest and down, and I had a bruise practically in the line of the seatbelt, And for ages of me, like the sternum in the middle was quite sore. But that's the only car crash I've been in. But following on from the Matchbox Carpark, then I graduated. I was still going though when I got the Renault Megane. That was the white one.
You had it. Yeah, you kept with the vans.
Yeah. That was my first one.
Yeah,
I remember getting that, and it was a 99D or something. But once again, it was like, it wasn't a Renault Megane van, it was a Renault Mega van. It was like the higher spec one.
Yeah, the Mega was.
And it was white.
Yeah.
And I remember I got like the Sony radio, because obviously you had to change the radio because it was a cassette tape.
Oh yeah.
And you had to get like the surrounding for it. And I remember getting that, but it didn't fit quite well. So I got so used to every so often when I was changing gears, I just have to push it back in because it keeps sliding out constantly when you're driving.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things when I got the next car, then the finger used to go to push it back in, even though the radio wasn't there anymore. But yeah, the Renault Megane was next.
Remember what I had that time?
Was that the FTO? No.
Time. No. Did I have the Subaru?
Oh yeah, the
Did I have the Subaru after the van? I wonder. I can't remember. I had the Subaru Impression, which was a fake Impreza.
It was like the 1.6.
The 1.6 version, yes. But I bought it as a family car, and then I did it up as if it was a Subaru Impreza, 2 litre turbo.
Did Robbie Kennedy have an actual one?
He had a real STI, yeah. Not the car kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was that was like the full Colin McRae yellow stickers. No,
that was a different chap. Robbie just had a standard blue one with the gold alloys, which is even better than the Colin McRae looking one. In my own opinion, obviously Colin McRae is cool.
Yeah, I remember watching actually one of his rallies, and the tyre burst, and he kept driving, and he literally finished the race, and his alloy was like the size of a tennis ball.
I've seen the pictures.
He just kept going.
After memories. Then the Subaru. What do you have after the Renault?
Well, what happened to your Subaru? Is that the
crashed it?
Wasn't your fault though.
No, no, foreigners. 2 foreigners crashed into me. Well, obviously one crashed into me because he was the driver, but
yeah. And that was coming out of petrol station, wasn't it?
Out of petrol station near Ferry House.
T-boned you.
No, fligged a bit of insurance between them, and they got done, and because they did nothing, I got nothing for my poor car.
Oh.
Yeah. And ended up getting it. It was bent. The whole chassis was bent. The front engine was bashed in.
It's complete right off, like.
It was hit. If you can imagine, it was from the front, and it was hit at the front to the side. So imagine breaking your nose, and your nose is going a bit to the left. That was like my car. So Mickey Malloy had to bend it back into place, and then I fixed it all up, and then I sold it.
Oh, you actually did get to fix it up.
Fix it up,
but you didn't drive around after that, though. You sold it straight away.
So no, I drove around because I had to show to people that it was perfect when I was driving. But then when I was selling it, it was keeping up appearances basically. But sold it on then.
So you went Peugeot 30. No, what was it? 308? No,
306.
Oh, 306.
The white one with van, then the Subaru.
The Subaru. So that's quite a change.
Yeah.
And then I went Renault Megane, Renault Mega Van.
Yeah.
And I got my first car, which was a Skoda Octavia.
Yeah.
A dark green one.
Yeah.
04-ish.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first actual.
Good alloys and that, you had that sporty looking. Didn't
you?
It
was one of those. It was like not an Elegance. What was it called? A Skoda. No, I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was an Elegance model. It had the few little extra things on it, of course, as well. Because I always think if you're going to buy a car, you're in the car, sitting in the car most. Colour to me is, buying second-hand cars. I fluctuate.
Yeah.
Unless it was Lamborghini or something, I wouldn't buy a yellow car.
Yeah.
But
unless you wanted to stand out.
Well, of course, but the inside is probably more important, and that's why I like that Skoda. Once again, quite comfortable. It had Bluetooth as well, which was mad because that was the first car the phone connected to, and also what else did I have? No, I didn't have the next car had cruise control, but I bought that over in TMC, which TMC's not there anymore either. I think it was
they're gone.
It was like 6,000, I think, at the time. That was 04. I would have got that maybe. That would have been maybe a 6-year-old. Did I have it like in 2010? 2009, 2010? I think so. I think I had that when, wasn't there like a mad snow in 2010 or something? Yeah. I think I had that one.
And that was at the same, that was around the same time, alright. And then
you moved on to the when did, you had a Renault Clio at some point?
I think I got the FTO after the Subaru.
After Subaru?
I did, yes, because I used the money I immediately regretted it straight after I bought that FTO. Like literally driving home, I was
Now,
going.
I don't know if it's a Mitsubishi thing, but that joke at the sight of a drop of rain, fogged up.
Yeah, just in general, it was just a hairdresser's car.
No offense, to any
No
hairdressers.
offense to hairdressers owning an FTO, but I just instantly regretted it.
It was dark grey, silver.
It was a navy, dark navy, and I had spray painted the calipers yellow. But look, it was a nice looking car.
You're ahead of the curve again. There's lads doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
You can get kits now to paint your calipers.
I just got like whatever can I had in my father's garage. It didn't even.
It probably wasn't even the heat resistant stuff or anything.
It didn't even care if it was yellow. I think I only found out it was yellow when I started spraying. It's just a can. So. Do
you remember coming back from Dublin in it with the guards? Do you remember that story?
From the way home from Blanche, wasn't it? Me and you.
Yeah. We had gone out in Dublin maybe that night or something.
No, we were in the cinema. And I was driving home with you in the car, and there was a pair of lights behind me.
Yeah, and dual carriage, yeah.
Yeah, and dual carriage, and I was like, this fucker behind me is trying to race me. So what did I do? Put the foot down. And I was like, this lad is still behind me. And then then I just said, okay, grand, race is over. So and then he started slowly creeping up beside me, and then I looked to the right, and I just seen two high vises looking at us. And just like him with his finger, and then he pulled back in behind me. The lights turned on, and he was like, I can't even remember the conversation. He was like, "Do you realise what you're doing there?" I said, I thought you were trying to race me, guard.
I think he asked you what speed you're doing, and you look down and says, "I don't know."
Oh, I don't have a clue. Can't remember.
And he ended up a warning anyway. Well, this was before penalty points anyway.
Yeah, it was before everyone. But you see, that was back when the guards had like the personality test. Where if you're a nice chap,
oh right, okay,
they let you away.
Should we cut out that?
If you're a nice chap to the guards, and you get on their level, they'll let you away with it.
Yeah, because all he said was take her handy, wasn't it?
He was, because we had a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
Because he kind of understood. He went, you're messing like.
Yeah. Next car was I bought a black Skoda Octavia.
Yeah.
Now that was nicer than
that was an upgraded model one.
That was an upgrade, and that had the radio on it, Bluetooth again, of course, but that it would read out your text messages.
Wow.
And since that car, I've never had a car that done that.
I've done that, yeah.
I remember going to Galway, and Adam Campbell, I think, was in the back, and he kept texting me to see what it would read out all the way to Galway, sending these text messages. See, would the car read them out?
Did it say bad words and everything?
Oh yeah, everything. And then it used to read out the smiley faces, so it would go along blah 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 whatever. What does it go? Smiley winky face. It would actually read what the face was.
Wow.
But when you talk about guards there, I got stopped in that car, and I was only after buying it. And some older lad, that's what your man said in TMC, some older lad had it, and he had cut the tax disc in order to fit it in.
The last lad that owned it.
Yeah, because it was still in tax for a month or whatever. And they stopped me, and they went over and checked it.
Were the lads in the car at the time?
The guards, like.
Were the lads in the back, like at the same time, the lads were sitting in the back seat texting in.
No. So this is when we were living in Victory now. Like. So I had turned round about heading in for Knightsbrook, and the car came in and lights came on, and I was on my own. This lad came down, and he was I suppose you call him a young guard, and he was asking me about the car. Then he walked over and looked at the tax and all, and then he came back and when did it get and all this, and then he said, you know about the taxes that you're not meant to be tampering with taxes, and he wanted to see it, had to pull out and give it to him and all that. And then an older guard came along and started asking me the same questions, but he was like nicer or more, I know, chatty back and forward and saying how nice a car was.
Seen that. It all. Yeah, that
must be it. Your man just must be having bad. And then I had to go in to the Garda station to give all the documents of the car to say that I owned it. Yeah. And the impression that I got from the fella that was in the Garda station behind the desk was that your man was just having a bad night, and there's no reason for me to go in.
Yeah, he's like,
so like it's lads like that, I suppose, maybe. Now, in saying that everybody can have a bad day anyway, and you're not meant to tamper with tax discs either. But like I didn't know that. Yeah. And to think that I only had the car in a few days. You know? Yeah. But how I
didn't believe you though when you said, "Oh, the last lad had that."
Oh yeah. But then
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, because I was stopped. Obviously, I had to go in and show the tax or the information or whatever. But the story on how I got that car was living in Victory Abbey with Tully, and I had the green Skoda Octavia. And I went out one morning and someone had tampered with it. So what they done was they got a screwdriver and tried to tap in the key where you put the key in.
I remember that. Yeah.
So I went over to TMC where I bought the car, looking to get the car fixed, and went in, and your man Trevor, what was his name? I can't remember.
MC. Trevor MC.
He was there. He was a good salesman, but I suppose the fact that that would be like an old car dealer kind of guy, where he was the boss, so he could dictate. But you look now with all the Volkswagens everywhere, no matter what dealer you go to, are the same price because they're obviously governed by Volkswagen Ireland.
Yeah.
So you can't be chopping and changing.
Yeah.
So then when you went and bought, you could get like little things off them or whatever. So I went and I said, oh, look at what's after happening, like how much. And he said, oh, you need a new barrel and we'll have to code a key into it and all that. But he says, actually, you know what? Come up the yard here and I'll show you something. And he was only after getting this black Skoda.
Oh, yeah.
And he showed it me. He said, what do you think of that? I said, oh, yeah, no, that's grand. He says, do you want to take it for a spin? Took it for a spin. And then he told me how much it was and all. And I went to, as you do, credit union loan. But I said I'd only get it if a spoiler was on it, because it didn't come with a spoiler. And them Skoda Octavias don't look great with a spoiler. And you put a spoiler on it, no extra charge, and put 4 brand new tyres on it. Nice. You wouldn't get that in any dealership.
Don't do that anymore.
Oh, no. Get nothing off you.
No.
And so he done that, and I think I had to get maybe in around the 6,000 loan with my own car, whatever it was worth at the time. But as I said, that was a good car. A couple of people got sick in the back of it.
Nothing wrong with it?
No, that happened.
Many a good night.
Yeah. I think I got away with the green Skoda. I don't think anybody got sick in it, but someone definitely got sick.
It wasn't me.
No. Better maybe not name her, because we're all maybe too old now. We don't want to incriminate anybody maybe on that one. It's alright naming people who own cars. Yeah. So
her boss might be listening. It's a very popular podcast.
Very popular podcast. Yes. So I won't say who it was, but she got sick. But lucky I had tissues and all in it. But what I noticed about that car, right? So my dad has a 132 Skoda Octavia, which it was only 3 years older than that black one that I had, and the trim is different in it. So you know when you're sitting in the back seat, down along the pillar of the door was like a cushion in my one. And they're after taking that out now. So I don't know whether they're cutting back corners or whatever. But that black Skoda Octavia was good. So that would have been around 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. No, when was I in Victory Abbey? That would have been 2012 I got that car. 2012, 2013. Can't remember. In around that, because I remember I was in Victory Abbey. And that was a good car. I think I did that for maybe 3 years. I kind of go in rotations at 2 or 3 years.
Do you pull much handbrakes in it?
No, I never pulled the handbrake.
You never abused any of your cars?
No.
We all abused them.
Yeah.
I think that was what the Matchbox Carpark did. Like, you don't think it depended. Whenever I drove into the car park, if there was no guards around, even though the guard station was 200 feet away, if there was no guards around, you had to pull the handbrake. It's just tradition.
But remember, we used to be sitting there. Remember, the guards could just come out and they'd drive around you,
slowly,
drive around the big group
slowly,
and then they'd go out again.
It's like, they just circle slowly. I think they have a uniform Garda slow speed of like 6 miles per hour.
But I still see now, not as much in the Matchbox Carpark, but as I said, Napa Green and Navan, it's different. But I was coming back from Navan a couple of weeks ago on like a Saturday, and it's amazing the difference. Obviously, Saturday nights now coming back at that time.
This is recent.
Only like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was driving down by Fabio's down the one-way street, High Street, and there was a Bora. I think it was a Bora, or maybe 10% maybe. And it was pulled in, and the guard was in talking to your man. Yeah. And there was like a Golf on the left hand side, the opposite side, and I think it was like a Seat Leon or something, and all done up. And I was just thinking, maybe the old scene is coming back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but they're different cars now. I don't know if you see any demands.
The scene will have to come back. The guards have it too handy now. The guards are busy with us.
Yeah.
Because we used I remember who was it? Just haven't seen him in years. Oh, he had a Nissan Primera, but a sports version, a white one.
Oh, Nissan Primera.
Remember, what's his? He must be I'd say he's in Australia now because I haven't seen him in at least 15 years. But I had the Subaru, but his was like a 1.6 as well, a sports one, and he came in. It was like because I had with the Subaru that was 1.6, even though it wasn't real, it was still a cool looking car.
Yeah.
And then he came in with this cool looking car, and it was almost like he's saying, "Look what I got," and I was like saying, "Look what he got."
I don't think as many of them were like as done up those now. Like that Seat Leon had like quad exhaust on it. and it had like graphics. Now I wouldn't be great
The
at
one that
graphics.
the young lad, the one that
yeah,
you've seen.
yeah. I wouldn't be mad on the graphics on the front of the car. Like
No,
I see lads on the
Not a
big,
fan of graphics in cars.
no, not on the windscreen, and I don't particularly like that they say what the car is. I like the one with the badger,
Yeah.
flat out like a badger on a bypass,
Comment or something.
or
nice.
like ag-respect,
a
and then there's-
statement on your political
yeah,
views.
and actually I remember Butch had a red Ford Focus, was it?
He had
Only there like about 4 years ago,
like
and
a
it had like
souped up one.
Colin McRae's signature on the windscreen. Seen outside
Yeah.
the front of the house.
Yeah.
That was cool
Yeah.
because that's Colin McRae's signature.
Yeah, because it had meaning to it. It meant something.
Yeah, because I think the black Skoda Octavia was the last time I was in the Matchbox Carpark.
Yeah.
I think it faded out a little bit after that, then, didn't it?
Did I have the motorbike around the time the car park?
Oh yeah, you had a motorbike,
Yeah.
like a 125 or something, wasn't
Yeah, NSR, NSR 125. But I'm trying to think, did I ever? No, I
it?
don't
Where
think-
is that in between now?
That was my first car. My first vehicle ever was the scooter.
The scooter. Oh,
They were the times that it.
Oh
good,
my god,
they were the good days.
The scooter. Do you
Yeah.
remember up when we had the sports day?
How
and
can
you-
I forget?
And you wouldn't try to drive it. Oh,
Yes.
who was it? And go on, you tell the story. It's
I
your
don't know if
scooter.
she'd like me telling her.
It's your scooter. Well, tell the story without naming
But
names.
see, yeah, well, look, I had the scooter anyway, and then it went up to the sports day.
Yeah,
that
but
was
you
across.
had a scooter, and then loads of people got scooters.
Yeah, 17 of us.
Oh man, so it's
But,
that was tech, yeah.
There was only 3 of us basically, and then once it was
Because
like
when you
it
said
was
John
cool
Clark,
to have a
I think
scooter.
John Clark had a scooter as well, did he?
John Clark got a scooter. It was me, John Clark, Mickey McKay, Gary Butterly, all them lads.
Oh, yeah.
But we were all in school, and we all had them, and then we actually caused eruptions in the school because we were taking up car parking spaces in the school. Teachers couldn't park, so there had to be a rule made: please do not park your scooters in the car park. And then at lunchtime, we all tipped down to town. The mother used to hate. She used to be shopping in Market Street, and then 17 of us used to drive down to town at the same time. It was like a tsunami coming. All you could hear is like coming down through the town.
49 or
oh,
50cc.
Yeah. They're on the way.
scooters.
And then I used to go down Market, and if you seen the mother on the left hand side with her friend, I'd beep the horn, and then all the 17 lads would beep the horn behind me. The mother used to dive into the back of a car or something, so I wouldn't see her. But she hated seeing us around because we just go beep 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 beep, loads of beeping. But
so circa 2000 actually probably was 2001.
2000 I'd say, because it was before.
When was that sports day then? That
So the sports
that
day-
was like the last before we moved.
It was the tech, yeah, because
So it must have been like the summer end of 2001, the end of the school
it
year,
was
around May.
99 2000 I'd say.
But that sports day though was like the last thing we done in
Yeah,
tech though.
I think it was like even a big going away thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was up on. Did they
Yeah,
call it
because
the
Mr.
green?
Gaffney was there, yeah.
Yeah, did they call it the green in Morton Heights? Behind the school?
Yeah,
Is
the
it called
green,
the green?
yeah,
So
called the green.
that's where we had the sports day.
Yeah.
And go with your story.
But
with
I
your scooter.
basically parked it up, basically just left it sitting there while we did our sports day and stuff like that. And then one of the girls came up and said, "Oh, can I drive your scooter, Tom?" And I was like, "Sure, we're in the middle of a field, what can go wrong?" And I said, "Yeah, go on ahead then, go on ahead." On she hops, and I showed her how to use it, and then she started driving. I was like, "Okay, that's going grand." Then off she shoots onto the road. I was like, "Hang on a minute, don't go onto the road." And there she goes, flies down the road, full speed. I was like, "Oh God, no, she's got no. What is she doing?" And then I seen her at the top of the road, then just going to do a U-turn, and she
got
obviously
wobbly.
she starts to wobble, obviously panics and pulls the accelerator, and wallops into a chain that's going across the fence.
I think those chains are still there. Like when you go into Morton Heights on the right hand side, there was like white bollards, and like it was like I know a ship chain.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Yeah.
big
Oh, it's
bulky
like-
chain.
I'd
like,
say they're old anchor chains or
yeah.
something.
No, I don't know. I haven't been up there in a while, but
But
they're probably still there.
I don't know if they're there now. I think
No?
there was like basically after that happened. Like, did she hurt herself badly? No, she didn't. She cried
Yeah.
because of the thing.
Yeah, but it was a nice mark, like because obviously the
whole-
scooters are light,
the
and
chain
this,
got wedged.
yeah,
underneath
the scooter
cracked
even
the
though
whole thing. I was
it was
furious.
a red or wine one, was it?
It was wine,
Wine,
lovely, beautiful colour of wine. But I was furious, but I couldn't show. I just said, "Oh yeah, look," because she was in bits crying, so I had to go up and say, "Look, don't worry about it. It's fine." Knowing well my father was going to kill me, I said, "No, it's fine. Don't worry." So anyway, the school were all around going, "Oh my God, crashed the bike!" Blah blah. Teachers are like, "Going, okay, kids, get back into sports day." and then some young lad really hurt himself. Totally separate from the incident.
Oh, in one of the races, because the sports day was cancelled.
Yeah, they cancelled the sports day because too much bad things happened that day.
Oh, was it like he broke his leg or dislocated his knee?
I think it was worse than that, like lost an eye or something.
Oh, I remember that, but like that was someone from like first or second year.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that, and we all had to go back down to the school.
But I remember I had to go home then. Well, I went home with like 3 or 4 other lads that were on the bikes, and I had to, because something was wrong with the bike, and I had to go home to the father to fix it.
Yeah.
I think it was the frame or something was cracked and fallen off. And then I went home and he's like, "What happened, John?" And I said, I was driving too fast, hit some sand, or gravel was on the road, and I went flying next to the beach. But and then I crashed. If Dad's listening to this, he still thinks he doesn't know that story. He still thinks.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
exclusive.
Basically, I just said I crashed at myself, and he's like, "Fucking idiot." He said he doesn't believe that there was gravel. He just thinks I was going too fast and crashed.
Yeah, crashed. But
it was better to blame myself than to say I gave my bike to a girl to drive up the town.
That had probably no license for it.
Yeah, nothing.
50cc though, it wasn't going that fast.
It was 50cc. But no, see, I had that de-restricted.
Oh, right.
So it was like...
That's how we used to pimp the scooters.
It was a rocket. It was literally, it was ridiculous. De-restricting should have been illegal, because I crashed it like twice going into a ditch. Anyway myself, because I couldn't handle the speed.
And did you go from the scooter to the 125?
Yeah.
And then got the van?
So I went from the scooter to the 125. And then, the 125, I had that for a couple of years. Crashed that a few times.
When you left school?
Scuttled myself.
Didn't someone throw something through the back window of that?
Of what?
Of the van.
No, a guy outside Buck Mulligan's put his knee through the front window.
That's right, I know.
Yeah. You remember, I think it was someone like James Connery in the front seat with me, or one of the lads.
Yeah.
But basically, I was parked up, and some drunkard, who I know who he is, I'm not going to say his name, started doing a dance in front of the car, and me going, "Oh, look at your man doing it," and started revving the car up.
Yeah.
But he thought because I was revving I was going to take off, so he jumped on top of my bonnet. But as he was jumping, his knee went through my windscreen.
I don't remember that. I thought someone threw something at it. I honestly did. I didn't know that.
No, went through the windscreen. Cause you might be thinking of the side window as well. That's a different story. But
why did I think someone threw like a keg or something at your car? That must have been you then.
Maybe that was a story I told to embarrass your man.
Maybe.
But
that was someone else.
But he came out the next day and he apologised, thank you, but he paid for a new windscreen. But I felt bad about that actually, because the guys who I got to, because he said, "I'll repair your windscreen," and the guys who came to repair the windscreen said it'd be 400 quid, and I said, 400 quid?
For a windscreen?
Yeah, for a windscreen. And I went, shit.
Well, everyone went change, so I don't know.
Okay, grand. And then so I texted your man saying that'd be 400 quid, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And everybody's like, "Oh, who the fuck? Where'd you get the 400 quid windscreen from?" And everybody thought I was an arsehole because I was charging it. They probably thought I got the windscreen for 100 quid and took 300 quid off that poor chap. But I didn't.
Pocket the money. But when you say about books, just to take it back, cars now again, they ran all 19.
Yeah.
I remember going over to books and I would have only been 17. But when I drove up to the gate, they never checked ID. So just open the gate and drive in. So that's how I got in.
That was the stage both me and you went in. I was in a driving stage. Like I didn't drink.
Yeah.
So me and you were like the drivers.
Yeah.
So whenever we go to books, it's like, right, you get in Johnny's car, you get in Johnny's car.
I remember the van one night. I must have had maybe 3 or 4 people in the back.
Yeah, lethal.
Who had like covers over them, and it was like human trafficking or something. I got them behind the gate because once you were by the gate, you were never asked for ID again.
Yeah.
And one night, Gary Dempsey rang me, and he goes, maybe he doesn't remember this now. He was drunk, but he goes, "Oh, can I have a lift home?" And I said, "Oh yeah, sure. I'll go at the Trim Road." And sure, I'll go back to Trim or whatever. So that's grand. He goes, "Oh, can I bring someone with me?" I say, "Oh yeah, go on, we'll chance." Now at this stage you used to chance 2 people in the front, but he brought back one of the trees from outside books. Do you know like the ones that are in the pots that go up into like the dome? He goes, "Sorry if I bring this home." I was like, "Yeah, okay, put it in the boot."
It's a big job now. Maybe we get him in trouble.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But we used to have I used to have 3 or 4 lads in the back of the van at the 306, and the ones I got a Kangoo van. Remember the Kangoo van?
Oh yeah, the Kangoo van.
That was after the.
You were a carpenter jobbing then.
Yeah, that was when the boss literally told me I had to get a van, so I got a van. and got the Kangoo. But then, once I got Kangoo going over the books, it was like 8 lads in the back.
Well, I remember one Stevens night in the Renault McGann, I think I left like 15, 16 people home. Yeah. You were just going through trim and people were looking for lifts.
Yeah. And you couldn't drive by anybody as well.
No.
And I felt like you had a job to make sure people got home safe.
And I was actually parked at the lights beside the tech, and someone just opened the back boot. And I said, "Alright, if I hop in." I was like, "Okay, where are you going?" "Oh, Clemesson." I was like, "Well, I'm not going that way." And he's like, "Oh, I'll throw you 50 quid. I was like,
"Yes,
I'm going that way now."
Oh,
mad, like. But after my probably the dearest car I got, well, I kind of upgraded every car, I guess, because every car seems like your nicest car, because you're getting older, you're getting few bones. And I got the Jetta then, the white Jetta, the 12, bought over Commons. Holy shit show buying that car. There were the lads in there, 2 lads all over the place. What was his name? The finance guy, he was no good, and then the salesman was no good, and I think both of them are gone. Can't remember his name, but they got everything confused. I had to go over 3 times to pick that car up. And I had changed my insurance and all. And I remember sitting in Commons on his computer having to change my insurance back to the scorer to be able to drive home. Like.
So 2 stars Google review.
Oh, them 2 lads. Now they don't work there anymore. I cannot remember. One lad was the finance guy. He was.
What colour hair do you have?
From Drogheda or something. And then the other lad had black hair.
I don't know.
They're not there anymore, because I remember going back, and of course went back to Commons again. And I had said about my bad experience or whatever, and the man said, "Oh, they don't work, they got moved on or whatever." But I bought that the Jetta, the white Jetta. It was a 12, and it was it was nice. Now it had like it was our sports pack or something. It had like black and grey seats. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I remember it being a night, because that was that was a new model Jetta.
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was a Jetta, not a Passat.
Yeah, I got a little lip spoiler. I like putting the lip spoiler on, of course, German plates as standard.
It did, yeah.
And what else did I? Did I get the windows tinted? Maybe not. I can't remember. I think I did. And of course the wind flector yokes on it. And then I traded that in to a guy in Tuam, and I got the silver Passat with the leather seats. Oh, heated seats. Never had heated seats before.
What car is this?
This is a silver Passat. This was a 14. We're coming close to the end of my cars now. I haven't had that many cars, to be honest.
And you went back to the white Passat then?
Yeah, and then I went back to Commons and actually bought this white Passat. What was your man's name? I think he's from Enfield. He was working in there. He was the best lad I think I've ever dealt with. I literally went over. I had seen it on the Friday, and I went over on the Saturday. I remember it was lashing rain, and I went into your man and said, "Oh, about the Passat." And he says, "Oh yeah, that's good Passat." And the first fella because I'd been in Volkswagen garage for a while, and they start trying to sell you polished and clean and stuff for your car. You're thinking, well, I mightn't even be buying the car. Why do I want like €300? Now, whether they get commission or add bonus or whatever. Which?
It's like going into a barber's.
Well, I don't go to barbers anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I cut my own hair. there's not a lot of it. So
it's an experience. You're missing out. It's an experience.
Oh, head massages and
head massages, fire in your ears. To shave your eyebrows.
Oh,
it's like a man spa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So even like the place Crew Barbers and Trim has a bar. You can have a gin and tonic.
No, you're taking the piss.
I'm not taking the piss.
How can this ever happen?
They're not, as long as they're not selling it. It's once it's free.
It's complimentary.
Yeah.
Oh,
they just have alcohol behind there, and if you want some, you can.
Oh, sure. I haven't got my hair cut in about 7 years.
No, there's a bar at the very back in the Crew Barbers and Trim there. What's it called? It's Avon's place. Like it's the studio or something like that. But basically,
beside library.
Yeah,
which they're doing up for like a venue.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be nice and it's done.
It's like the Salsa Centre.
Don't know where people are going to park though. Could park car. Anyway, listeners don't know about that. But the barbers is a good old experience these days. Except they do try to sell you like a €40 bottle of gel.
It's the same as the lads of Volkswagen. But they're feckers for well, I don't know whether it's just Joe Duffy or not. But anyway, your man said never even said he goes that he went out and looked at my car and came back and oh yeah, well looked after, nice and clean, and he says I need 8,500 with your own car.
Jesus.
And I said eight was me limit. I said 8 was definitely me limit. I said no more than 8.
Yeah, good to go.
Saying, oh grand, right, well hang on, do you want to take for a drive? And I said sure, look at Passats. It's a Passat, sure, look at it. And it was lashing rain. And the reason I only went out 1 year, but
was it the same cockpit inside?
No, you see, this was the 15 I have now, the white one is the first of that style ones. Which they were done up until maybe 2019 or 2020. And my other Passat was the last of the old style Passats. So these are slightly wider, slightly longer. Yeah. And it had a new inside. And
so did it feel different?
Oh, it did, yeah. Different seats in now. It didn't have the leather seats, but it's slightly wider as well. Different driving, and it's 120, where the other Passat, I think, might have been 110 horsepower. But he said, okay, that's grand. He says, hang on a second, I'll come back. And he came back to me and says, well, if I said 8,000, would you do the deal right now? I said, bang, deal done. Bought the car without even driving it.
Nice.
And it came back on Tuesday, and he had it ready and all.
No regrets.
No messing about. No, I really like that Passat.
Yeah. Just get the tattoo. No regrets, you know, or age.
Oh yeah, it's just spelled wrong across it. But no, I really like that. But as I said, as you're getting older and you have the few more quid, the cars do get better anyway. But obviously, you started off with a 94 car, 99, 04, 2009, 12, 14, 15. So they're getting better. Like.
Yeah.
You ended up going from the FTO. You said you had a Kangoo.
Yeah.
Renault Kangoo. You had a Renault Clio at some stage.
I had a white Renault Clio. That was the rough stage. That was literally one that.
Just to get you around.
I had no money at the time, and I just said I think I bought that for 500 quid. Piece of crap.
When the issue was that? When that was. What was that in between?
I was in Superbody at the time, so I was a manager in Superbody, so that was not too long ago.
What was that after? Did you go straight from the FTO to the Clio? No. The van was before the FTO.
The van was before the FTO. I think I went from the van to the FTO. No, the FTO to the van, and then the van to the Clio. Yes, because I remember putting stuff, tools and crap in the back because I still was doing extras. But then after the Clio broke down,
you just left it there.
Basically, I think I had a Ford.
Free to take home.
A Ford car, temporarily.
Oh,
do you remember that, Joe?
You did. You had a Ford car.
But I only had it for 3 days. I drove the shite out of it in the Matchbox Carpark. It was a go-kart.
Oh, Ford car, they're state of car.
Yeah.
And then Ford car, what was next after that?
The
Volvo, no? No, we're not at the Volvo. You've had more cars than I've.
I think the Fiat Bravo.
The Fiat Bravo? Yeah. Remember that?
Bravo 081. That was the nicest car
that had a bit of a body kit or something on it, was it?
Yeah, it was like a Abarth version kind of style.
And didn't it have sport mode in the steering wheel? Then steering wheel went really loose.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the one we went to Cork in? We went to Cork in that one?
Yeah. That's the one we went to Cork in.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, then after that I got the Volvo.
Remember the night it broke down?
The V50.
Yeah, beside what's it called? There's not the Dunboyne train station. What's the one on the motorway?
Oh yeah.
Whatever the one's called.
It was the ring road, like.
Yeah, and because I remember you rang me.
Was it not Agneta that broke down?
Oh, no, I went to pick you
car,
up.
Yeah.
Oh,
she had no way of changing the tyre, and you picked me up somewhere.
Yeah.
Was it at home?
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went up.
Yeah.
Because you only had the one car.
Yes.
Oh, back in there when you only had one car.
No kids.
Yeah, so it was tired and it was not sure if it was raining, but it was definitely cold.
That was definitely
and we were trying to change it.
That was definitely a mate's favour now. That was a friendship thing right there. You were right there, called. You were like, right, I'm on the way.
And you tried for ages to sell that as well. The Volvo.
Never to get it.
Nobody
and you almost paid a guy to take it.
Just take it away.
Yeah.
I don't want it. And then the Jag now.
The Volvo straight into the. No, there was cars in between because the Volvo. Remember, I crashed the Volvo.
Oh
remember
yeah,
that?
The computer wasn't working in the middle.
The ECU needed to be reset. But
oh yeah.
The insurance company wrote it off. I crashed a lot of cars. I'm not gonna lie, but crashed that, and because that is literally the only car I had, I literally threw money into it. I hadn't a penny left.
A Polo?
I
bought
a Ford Fiesta.
Oh, Ford Fiesta.
No, well, I bought the Polo.
Yeah.
But when I took it home, it was just falling apart. So I took it back that day, literally.
Yeah.
I had to get the father to follow me, and he got a speeding ticket behind me, and I didn't get it for some reason. But I didn't get done, and I hadn't insurance or tax or not. I just literally taken the car for the day.
That's bad.
I just took it home, and then drove it back and said, "Look, give me back my money for that job." So he's like, grand. So then I took a Ford Fiesta off him for 500 quid.
And was that was?
The head gasket blew on it within a month.
Oh, we better not say who you've been buying these cars off.
No, we didn't want that. But he was, head gasket flew on that, and then, but basically that car kept me going. Even with the head gasket, I used to have to stop.
Patching it up.
On the Dublin Road, I used to stop every 10 minutes, fill up the radiator. I used to carry open bottles of like what are those fucking barrows, the water bottles that you'd carry to water the plants in. What the fuck?
A watering can?
Watering can. Why did my mind go totally blank there? Basically, I had 2 watering cans sitting underneath the passenger seat. 2 open ones, full to the brim. Every time I went around the corner, the one spilled over. Anyway, but by the time I got to work, I'd have 2 of them watering cans gone because I'd been stopping to fill it up. So I was like that for 2 weeks. And,
wow.
Yeah, I hadn't a penny to fix it.
Then what was the next, like, decent car you got?
The next decent car I got.
Because you have the Jag now.
Yeah.
You didn't go. There was something in between that, between the shitty Fiesta. And
between that shitty Fiesta, I got the car fixed because the Volvo was off the road for at least 3 months. Sorry. Because I had no way. Because literally every mechanic was telling me, no, write it off. That's not written. And I was
refusing. Yeah, you found some lad to redo the ECU or something.
I said, look at it, it's perfect. Because the alloys alone were these Brembo alloys that were worth 900 quid, and there was a body kit, sports kit. The car was immaculate, leather seats, heated.
Boxy but sexy.
It was one of the highest range Volvo V50s, I'd say, in Ireland at the time.
Yeah.
And but everybody's saying, "I'll write it off." And I said, "No, I'm not going to write it off." So I eventually found a guy who was a mechanic, Volvo mechanic, and he said he'd fix it at home. He said he'd bring home
as a Nixer or whatever.
Yeah, he'd bring home a computer thingy.
That's what you want.
And I said to him, "Yeah, no problem. I'll tell you what. If you fix the Volvo, I'll give you the Ford Fiesta as payment." And he went, "No problem." So he took the Ford Fiesta, and I got my car back. So the car was running perfectly, and I had to get it approved to be roadworthy again and all that. But then, so I drove that for a while, and then, I think I went straight from the Volvo to a Jag.
That's an automatic. That's your first automatic.
No, the FTO was automatic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I loved automatic, and now that I'm automatic.
Didn't it have a seat thing that reset, depending on what key you put in?
Yes.
That was
2 sets of keys.
Yeah.
Whoever got in at the time.
Oh yeah, that nice little, because that was a 10, no, in 2009.
The FTO.
Yeah. What was it? What year was it?
The FTO was like a 94.
I wasn't that old.
It was, yeah. It was a very old car.
99, no?
Maybe 98. I haven't.
I wouldn't have said it.
I'll have to look back in images.
And now you have the Jag.
Now I have the Jag.
I wouldn't be a fan of the Jag.
Jag.
Not your Jag,
General
particularly.
Jackson,
Like before I was ever your Jag is of the first Jag I was ever in.
Congratulations.
I wouldn't have really liked the Jag.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been a fan of Jags, and I think anybody who drives a Jag is a tosser. But I liked it, and now I am a tosser.
But your Jag is nice though.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Obviously,
mine is tidy looking, and it's like shiny, and
I like the things that there's things that flip and buttons and stuff.
Yeah,
I like things like that in cars.
I love the car. It's nice. It's a lovely car.
And she's fast.
It's okay.
Well, I mean, like take off.
Yeah, it's not one. It's quick. Like it's not one of those sports Jags. Like like there's like in the UK the Jags are so much.
Yeah, it's not like one of those big long sporty.
But the one I have is only like a 2.2 diesel. But like if I went over to the UK now, you wouldn't see that car because it's lowest spec engine.
Yeah, definitely. Like we're probably a little bit screwed in Ireland with spec cars. Like most of the common cars in Ireland are medium to low spec.
Yeah. And
you have to go searching for the extra little things in it.
Like there's the XF4, which is the upgraded version of mine, but they're like a dime a dozen over.
Well, I was looking at the Passats there because I'm looking to get maybe 2018 Passat, and like you have to kind of look for the ones that have the reverse camera and the sat nav, and I guarantee in England they probably just all have reverse cameras.
And if you do find one in Ireland, it's because it came over from England.
More than likely. Although a lot of that business is gone now too, whatever.
Well, of course now, you can't do it.
All these lads who source cars, I think they're nearly all gone out of business.
Because if I am going to buy another Jaguar, I'll want to get one of those UK versions.
Yeah, well, you see, I suppose it's different for you personally going over to the UK and getting it.
Yeah.
Which is different, but as a business, I don't think to do it. I see a lot of people are importing from Japan now because they're right-hand drive as well.
True, yeah. Well, I've heard like them days are gone now. I remember I was reading on a forum there that some guy was buying a Jag in the UK. He did the guesstimate on the VAT thing.
Yeah.
They told him it would be $4,500 to bring it in. He brought it in, brought it over to get the thing. $11,500. He put up like, please help. What do I do?
Yeah.
Everybody's like going, oh, you're stung, mate. You know, well, that's it. You're gonna have to pay it.
But
Sell it off.
everything's mad like that. Like the VRT and sure the price of we won't get into the price of diesel, but like that's gone mad as well.
So what's the story in Japan? You can buy a car now from Japan now.
There are people because I follow like lads who like install the radios and all on Instagram.
Do they still do that big? Remember, they used to have something up at the port, like just 1,000 starlets just sitting at port. You can walk around all of Honda Civics and. Do you remember?
Oh, Jap imports like.
Yeah, Jap imports.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Remember you could literally walk around.
Like Integras and Hondas and all, yeah.
Lovely, beautiful sport Integras, just like 40 of them in a line, and then behind them will be starlets or skylines, and they don't do them anymore, do they?
Oh, I haven't seen cars like that in a long time. There probably are somewhere in garages, and they'll come out once a month for a spin around. But your man is going around, and because he has to re-encode the radios, because they're all Japanese frequency or whatever.
Right.
Because they're right-hand drive. But they're all, you can get import like 10s and 11s, Golfs and whatever case may be, with really low mileage, because Japan isn't like, obviously I've never been to Japan, but
it's all downhill.
No, it's all city driving. So the Golf is only like tipping here, tipping there, tipping everywhere. So
sometimes it's bad for cars.
Well, was the miles down. So this lad, and he had an 11 Golf, and there was only something like 11,000 kilometres on it. And they're kilometres as well, because England is obviously in miles. Like. So those cars are coming in.
That works out, doesn't it?
Yeah. So sometimes you see them because they've got like the square back number plate instead of the long one. Yeah. So I think
let's check that out.
That's what people are doing now.
And is there any like Jap import specialists still around?
Well, I don't know where your man when it was up in Dublin or something, and they were sourcing all these cars.
I remember back in the day, anyway, there used to be a Jap import specialist up at Dublin Port, just like next to Dublin Port, and there used to be just seas of cars,
drifting cars and Supras and all that.
But like back then, sure, nobody had a clue what a Glanza was or an R32 Skyline was.
I remember used to be able to get the VTR Saxos.
Yes.
Who had one of them? Dave Rowley.
Or Peugeot. What's the sport? The GT.
The little 106.
Yeah.
GTIs. The little tiny
106s.
Yeah. And used to have the big exhaust and them and all.
Even the 205. And turbo 205.
There was a story about a lad down actually when I was in college on loan. And he had one of those 205s, and he was going on the ring road, and he went to overtake, but instead of going from 5th to 4th, he went from 5th to 2nd.
Oh Jesus!
And it just boom, and exploded. Engine gone.
Shite.
And it just rolled over to the hard shoulder. So you are now in a Jag. I am now in a Passat.
Yeah.
Do we miss anything?
We're old
now. You've had more vehicles than me anyway.
Yeah, purely though because I crashed them all. So you've had less vehicles because you're more of a safer driver.
To go back, Renault 18, Renault Megane, Skoda Octavia, Jetta, Passat. So that is 7.
And you've obviously kept the cars that you like too. Like you've gotten the same car. Like I've never got the same car twice.
No, I like the Passats.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to get 2018 because 2018 is the first model with digital dash.
And what's your next car going to be?
Hopefully 2018 Passat.
Why don't?
Get one of them and
just get something different. You're not sick of looking at the Volkswagen badge. Get something different.
Like what?
Like I don't know.
I like the.
I say Skoda, but you've owned 4.
No, the only Skoda I get now would be the VRS. But there's no heated seats in the VRS. Only the Superb has heated seats. And when you have heated seats, it's very hard not to have the heated seats. I think. Even though like you only use them in winter.
Get like a Kia. The Kias are nice.
Kia Optima.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I wouldn't like a Sportage or any of them fake Jeeps.
There's an Optima sports version.
Yeah, they're actually. Well, when I was going to buy the silver Passat, I actually went to look at the Kia Optima. And it was fairly almost got it. It was a white one with black trim.
Before the Jag guys looking at one too, brand new one. But couldn't get good trade-in value for the car.
I liked Ford Focus, the STs, but they only look nice on the outside. I seen your grand one was like this dark grey metallic colour.
Don't like the new models.
But the inside, it's as I said, the inside's important. It has to have things nicely done, and like I don't like the screens popping out of the dash. I like the screen in the dash.
Yeah, ready to go.
Whatever.
Ready
so
to
you look at Audi's. Audi has that screen in the middle of the dash, which I don't particularly like.
Yeah.
Now we'll go back to that story which you said to hold on for the podcast, right?
Right.
Nephew's buying a new car.
Oh yeah.
An Audi A4.
All right.
The poor bastard he was buying off and crashed it.
Right.
Some crashed
Before he
into
got
it.
to buy it.
Ah, yeah.
I mean,
He was meant to go pick it up. He was meant to go pick it up last week, and now I'm not sure on the full story, but someone reversed into him and broke like the bumper in the front.
And he's around fixing it.
Ah, sick. Yeah, it's going to Audi. Your man's taking full responsibility for it.
Right.
I don't know who he is now, but yeah.
Yeah, how are you lads driving an Audi A4 these days?
OPW money.
Huh?
OPW money.
OPW.
Ah, Kyle's raking in it.
What happened? Like, yeah, stop you with the days now.
16.
Audi A4.
Well, he wanted one like Ian Darby's. What's Ian Darby's car? It's the
Don't know.
A5. Is it A5? Is
No.
it the bigger version anyway?
There's an A6.
But Kyle could only afford like I think a 14, but this is a 16, and he says the digital lash and all, and a few extra bits and stuff like that.
The A5 is the coupe version. I think.
Yeah, I think that's what he is. I'm not sure.
I
wouldn't mind knowing. I see it every Friday.
Yeah.
Because he calls here, but
Ian does.
yeah, but
right.
I can't remember what he said it was. But Kyle could only afford like.
I think he has an A6 if it's a big one.
They're dear cars. But lad in work has a brand new BMW. I can't remember what it was. It's one.
Good for him.
It's the big ass BMW.
Delighted. I don't know him, but I'm delighted for him.
It's like not army green, but it's like dark, like a flippy green, and he says it's a custom colour. So obviously that was more dollar.
Yeah.
You know, to get that custom colour, but it looks fantastic. Like now I haven't been in it, of course, but from the outside it looks nice.
From the outside looks nice.
Someday I'll
probably has no seats.
Someday, once I will buy myself a brand new car. Just once.
Just once, and then.
I don't think there's any point because you buy a new car.
Well,
it's new to you. So whether it's a couple of years old or not, like I think you find grand value in if you're 4 years behind, or 5-ish years behind.
Well, let's not get into electric cars. That's another conversation. But I think next one.
Yeah, was it 2030 meant to be all electric cars?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I don't think we're ready for them.
No, although the way it's going, diesel's going to be too expensive.
Yeah.
I remember when it went over the 99.9 and it went to like 100.9, and Dad was giving out about it, and now look where it's gone.
Look at it now. That's mental. It was down to like 109 over the pandemic, wasn't it? Remember the oil crisis thing? There was millions of barrels.
It wasn't now like 169.9.
163 in seconds there, yeah.
We were down in Kerry there last week and got it for 159.9, and like we literally only seen 2 places that was 159.
I meant to ask you about your Kerry trip actually.
Yeah, that's not.
You're in the Valentia Islands, weren't you?
Yeah, but
I was going to text you. I want you to buy me something down there. Anyway, this is a different chat. This has to be off air.
When there's golf. Golf is a nice car, but it feels like you're going back. Like it's grand driving, no problem driving it. Really nice car. Though it's 1.6. It's the 18.
1.6 drove to Kerry.
What?
It drove to Kerry, did it?
What did I say?
1.6.
Yeah, 1.6. Yeah.
Didn't think they could make it to Kerry.
I thought I said something else there. So my Passat is a 1.6.
Is it?
Yeah, 1.6, 120.
It's a different one.
And the Golf anyway, and nippy on. Like you obviously know it's narrower than Passat because the passenger's closer to you and stuff, and things are closer to you. But I don't know, in like boot space. I love boot space.
Yeah.
Boot space is big for me. Putting footballs in, putting your luggage in.
Golf clubs.
Yeah,
that we don't play.
That we don't play, yeah.
But it's always good to know that your boot can take golf clubs.
Definitely. Now the only thing I'll say about the Passat is because the boot, what do you call it, like a saloon boot, where the Skoda was like a hatchback boot. So you also had
the window came up and
extra height and stuff, like, you know.
Yeah. You have to talk about stories and what we did.
Nights out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny things maybe. Yeah. Well, look, we'll work on topics.
Yep.
It will be us waffling. We might cut across each other a little bit and things like that, but look, we'll work with it. Hopefully it's alright to listen to.
Yeah.
As I said, we will nail it down. Maybe we'll break it into 220 minutes because this is now, we've gone over an hour on this one. So do we, is this one episode?
Yeah, but you'll have to edit that, will you? Or are you
no, I'm going to go clear on it unless there's silence. Unless there's silence. This is pure, uncut.
Unedited. Director's cut.
I'll put a little bit of music at the start for an intro. A little bit of music
at
the end.
What kind of music? Is it going to be jazz?
Well, if I kind of have to use the one on the software because of copyright issues, I suppose. Okay. I can't randomly take...
I only like to be introduced by jazz, but it's okay.
I can put some kind of jazz in front. I'm sure there's an option for it on the jazz.
I'll take it.
Okay. As we go on, I'm sure we'll have a proper intro. We'll probably have a nice little outro from ourselves.
Yeah.
But for the moment...
Revving.
Of cars revving.
Yes.
That was beautiful. That probably should be the outro.
Perfect. Did you
But
record that?
yeah, it's recording away. But for now, for episode 1 of the JB Waffle Hour podcast, we also have to see what day it's going to come out and how many we're going to get in, because we do have lives. We are busy. So we'll see, maybe on a Wednesday. Waffle Wednesday sounds good. I don't know. Midweek, people are looking, podcasts come out Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays. Does any podcast come out on a Wednesday? Do people need a Wednesday podcast? That's the question.
Wednesday podcast? No, it just doesn't rhyme.
Waffle Wednesdays, no?
Waffle Wednesday could that rhymes. So that could work.
Maybe. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. We'll cut it at that.
Okay.
Job done.
Cut it.
So we'll sign off. Good luck. We'll talk to you again. See you. Take it easy.
Yeah, brilliant.
All right.
Till next time.
Done and dusted.